kind of fun? One of the visionaries behind Teletubbies and Thomas the Tank Engine actually has come out of retirement to help fight climate anxiety. His eco-superheroes, MeteoHeroes, has actually now seen in 30,000 schools and 15 million school kids.
And his vision is a tough one: to change the world through compelling storytelling. Please welcome Ken Weiselman. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. How you doing?
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. Okay, you got to share with us some of the stories you want to tell through these pint-sized superheroes.
You know, the thing about MeteoHeroes that's really special is that it's already in 145 countries and 22 different languages. It's the only show that is about climate change for kids. And, you know, I've been doing all this research. You know, something like 84% of kids across the globe suffer from climate anxiety. You know, and it's this kind of underreported second pandemic that kids are going through in the world right now. What we tried to do with this series is create a show, believe it or not, that's fun, funny, full of adventure, and actually gives kids a feeling of hopefulness. And that's the point of the show. So what we do is we take real events that happen somewhere in the world. You know how they say on TV, we change the name and but the story's still the same. So we'll take a drought from one country, we'll move it to the Sahara Desert, and then get the MeteoHeroes to come up with a solution to help save the drought, to save the people or the animals or whatever it is. And it's really a show about empowerment. It says to kids, you don't need to wear you don't need to wear a cape to be a superhero. Well, that took 3 tries to get right.
Listen, and the third try was the best try. Ken, I love this because, you know,
I like you already.
I mean, look, we spend so much time on the news talking about what's happening, right? And there's so many times me as like a college-educated adult, I'm like, what did they say? What was that? How does this work? So this is so amazing. So listen, many of the nation's top child psychiatrists are using MeteoHeroes to help combat climate anxiety. Is that right?
It's true. It's not just in the U.S. We're doing it in a number of countries across the globe because we're having this massive problem in this country about getting climate change education for our kids. And I want to tell you something that literally happened on Friday afternoon, that after we had already scheduled this conversation, and this happened. So I was very excited because the state of California stood up and said, we're going to create climate change education. And we have a massive plan that, like you said, it's starting with 30,000 schools and 15 million kids, but there's online education, there's an age curriculum for kids 4 to 10, there's community outreach, there's online education for kids and their families. It's a massive program. It was in the California budget, and then randomly on Friday, it was taken out of the budget. And so this massive plan that we have for, you know, to really give kids what they need in this world right now, if the state of California, if some politician, not Governor Newsom, who is a huge supporter of climate change education, but someone else in the state removed it, saying that climate change education isn't important for our children. And it just infuriated me. So I'm trying to be friendly and but at the same time, I'm really angry because we finally got to the doorstep to make sure that kids had what they needed in this country. And now randomly it was removed and nobody seems to know who did it or why.
Now, Ken, your passion is obviously jumping off the screen, and you wouldn't come out of retirement unless you had some big time plans. Yeah, okay, so of course you got some big plans. You want to expand the franchise with a live-action feature film, a 3rd season for the animated series, and environmentally responsible merchandising.
You know, what happens when you work on a kids series now, this has been going on for, decades. Our parents, their parents grew up with merchandise as part of the program. So grandma wants to know, what do I get my kid? Well, they love Mickey Mouse, you should get something Mickey Mouse. In this case, because the MeteoHeroes stand for, fun and funny and adventure, but they also represent good earth, good for you, good for the earth, right? So we have to come up with a way to make packaging that's more sustainable. Like, I don't know if you've seen this before, but my business cards are made out of seed paper. So if you take my business card and plant it in dirt, you'll grow begonias, right?
Okay.
Wow.
Which I love. So I thought the idea, we made packaging out of different vegetables. So kids could take the paper, plant it in the, in the ground, and then have their own vegetable garden How fantastic would that be
to
expand the play value and the lessons that you learn on the show and be able to do something meaningful with it?
Well, Ken, listen, you are so creative. My friend, you can come back anytime. Ken Weiselman, producer of the MeteoHeroes, the series. It's going to be awesome. It's going to continue to change our kids in the world. Thank you so much for sharing your vision with us.
Thank you so much. And if I can ask, reach out to your politician and ask them to demand that they get climate change education for your children.
All right. You heard from Mr. Weiselman himself. Thank you so much again, man.